I'm not impressed. I think
What's there to be impressed with?
Again, it's one of those things where like on paper, I love it. I think that it's a great idea, and I think that there's a cool
on paper,
message.
all you got to do is take a pen and write stuff down. It's the actual doing of it that matters. Double Toasted Live in Los Angeles is going to be Saturday, April 27th for a night of comedy games and that after party.
Sorry, I didn't.
Come on, man.
Sorry, I'm looking at like 7 different screens. I'm glad that we didn't just have a spit take there and I would have missed it. But speaking of going low, man, people, they never cease to amaze me with how desperate they are. As soon as something is available to them, it's like, I can make some money off of this. Like in that I Think You Should Leave sketch where it's like, how do I make money with this? And of course, as some of you know, recently became public domain, the Steamboat Willie cartoon. And I thought for people who aren't familiar with this, which I feel like that's pretty hard to do. I'm sure there's someone out there, who maybe has never seen it before. So let's take a quick look at the original Steamboat Willie cartoon, which recently went to public domain. And man, there were people who were sitting there at that starting line ready. They had movies and video games in their pocket already done. I mean, we saw that one trailer for that game Mouse, where it's a first person game where it's like there's clearly some of that in there.
Yeah.
But let me give you a quick refresher on what just became public domain to the chagrin of that mouse. Yeah, look at him right there, Martin, having a blast, being iconic
Living
and
his
shit.
best life.
Yeah, man, just living life on a boat, free on the range, literally now. So something that has happened is Disney's now 100 years old, right? They just hit their 100-year anniversary. And as much as they tried to fight it, this had to go public domain. So it's like, guys, it's been out there. Sorry, them's the rules. Bye. And there are people out there who, like I was saying, they were ready. With all types of stuff. Now, one of these trailers I've seen, the other one I have not, but it's more of Mean One and Blood and Honey type of stuff.
Oh, that kind of shit?
Yeah, but I haven't seen the trailer, so who knows? Maybe this will be the one. Please. We'll have to see. But let's start with something strong. Let's start with something that I think has a chance because, video games have gotten so cheap to make. And I think that this one has an interesting idea that is definitely playing off of this Steamboat Willie now being in public domain. This is the trailer for Infestation Origins.
Hey there. Thanks for coming out.
And that is the trailer for Infestation, something that is taking the horror slant with Steamboat Willie. And honestly, I know some people are like, that looks terrible. And it looks cheap, but I think that with video games, it's all about how fun it is.
How fun it is to play.
That as a team-based game, trying to find like the rat infestation with your buddies and spraying poison. I always admire when people find a way to make a first-person shooter that isn't shooting guns. Like they were spraying instead of just like, trying to just have a boring, just like, oh, shoot the rat. But this is the first of many to come, I'm sure. And honestly, I don't hate it. I think that it could be fun.
It seems fine.
Yeah, it looks harmless.
They probably didn't have that Steamboat Willie model up until they're like, oh, it's almost time. All right, you know what? Go ahead and patch that in there. Just make these other things we had look like this now.
Yeah, I mean, that may have been what happened. Like someone was making a rat game and they're like, this needs more spunk. We need to bring something to this. And they put Steamboat Willie in there. But that is just the tip of the iceberg of this adaptation series with with Steamboat Willie. Now, this trailer I haven't seen yet. This is a movie called Mickey's Mousetrap, and he looks the same as he did in that other trailer.
So can you use Mickey, or does it have to be? Do you have to say Steamboat?
Man, the video game is just called Infestation Origins.
No, that one I get.
Mm-hmm. But this one, they're calling it. I mean, that's what they're saying.
Mickey's Mousetrap.
Yeah, Mickey's Mousetrap. So
I don't know, man.
Some people in the comments were saying they might need to change the title on this one. But let's get into it. I haven't seen this yet. I don't know if people in the chat can. People are saying Keith Myath is saying
Keith Myath.
Yeah, that's his name. Why is that something funny? But no, he's saying you can use Mickey, which makes sense. I mean, like you're just saying Mickey, you're not saying Mickey Mouse, but you're saying Mickey's Mousetrap.
That can still get you a cease and desist.
I don't play no games. You around, you're about to find out, and so are the rest of you. Here's Mickey's Mousetrap.
Where the hell did he go?
Mickey's Mousetrap.
Forget about Disney. They're going to get sued by Scream.
Right? My God. I hadn't seen this trailer yet, so I had hope. You know, I saw like a blurb or something.
The way it starts out, you're like, all right, well, it seems to be of higher quality than we've been getting with a lot of these things.
Yeah.
But the more it went on, it's like, oh, it's just derivative soup.
It's literally the same shit that we just got finished talking about with Blood and Honey and
a little bit of Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, and the thing is that I thought that this was going to be more like, you know, a jigsaw type of take on Mickey Mouse. You know, Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just a lame slasher that is definitely channeling Five Nights at Freddy's because they're in an arcade.
Yeah.
And man, I didn't think that it was just going to be like some people who rented a Dave and Buster's, you know, and they were just going to be around there for a whole night. I mean, as soon as, you know, these characters started showing up, like we see all these characters talking to each other going, yeah. Oh, not you. Not you. No, these characters right here just making these dumb faces. And I'm not impressed. I think
what's there to be impressed with?
I mean, again, it's one of those things where, like, on paper, I love it. I think that it's a great idea, you know, and I think that there's a cool
paper,
message.
all you got to do is take a pen and write stuff down. It's the actual doing of it that matters.
Hi, Martin. I don't have paper. I'm just a digital image, so I can't be written on. But
oh man,
this is worse than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think that we were going to get something with a lame rubber mask, you know, like this, where it's like, give me a break. Like y'all went to Disneyland, you bought something, and they got a guy in a hoodie. Yeah. You know, just running around. But I guess because there's not a whole lot to say here with this, I guess the thing I'll ask you is, what do you think is the future of these things going public domain? And do you think that there's any chance that we'll get something out of Mickey now being in the public domain?
Not really. I never thought Mickey Mouse was all that interesting of a character. He's only interesting as a Disney property.
And hanging out with his friends.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing because there is a documentary, what's it called? It might be called Underground. And it's about the underground cartoonists of the late 60s and early 70s, Robert Crumb and a lot of those guys. And one of them, who was the best artist out of all of them, he did something with Mickey. I don't know if he did it like it was a comic book that was Ricky Rat. But Disney sued him into oblivion.
Really?
Yeah.
When was this, though?
Like I said, late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, okay.
And it was one where it was clear that it was parody. And he still lost.
Is there?
And I don't think he ever recovered from it. So,
I mean, it's hard to. Once that mouse breaks your legs,
yeah. So to now see it go to public domain, where like, well, now everybody can take this and do what they want. It's just, you know, it's interesting to see. But you know, if you go just by this, it's like, oh, now it's public domain, and nobody's going to do anything cool with it.
Hey, man, the mouse is out. Okay.
Okay.
And there's no stopping it. I think that you had something way more interesting to say about this than I did. I mean, I didn't know what this trailer was going to look like. I should have probably watched it so I could have been like, oh, it looks like this or that. But I knew it was going to be something relatively cheap. And I wanted to give my first initial reaction of disappointment. But with that being said, there are some other characters who I believe are on the cusp of also going public domain.
Is Superman one of them?
I don't know if Superman is. I know.
No, I don't think he came around until the 20s or the 30s. We're in 2023 now.
No. So maybe coming around there. But I was going to bring up a Warner Brothers property. I think Bugs Bunny is on the cusp of just being there. And Warner Brothers does not f around. I mean, do you know the story of Big Chungus?
No.
So what happened is that the brilliant animator, Meat Canyon, he did a cartoon with a fat, a fat Bugs Bunny. I think actually Jane Stephanie Sterling takes the credit for inventing the term Big Chungus. But either way, he made this cartoon called Big Chungus with the fat Bugs Bunny. And Warner Brothers was like, no, that is Bugs Bunny. We own that shit. Cease and desist. And that's why you got that fat Bugs Bunny in, I think it was Space Jam 2. They showed him that, or maybe in like one of the reboots
they've done a fat Bugs Bunny in some old cartoons.
Okay. Well, maybe that's why they thought that they won, right? Because he had to take it down and all that stuff. But he's credited with it. Skull says, according to Wikipedia, Superman as he appears Action Comics #1 will enter public domain 2034, along with Lois Lane and Metropolis. That's pretty interesting. What do you think? Do you think that'll lead to anything crazy? You think that?
Oh, yes. Superman coming up. Yeah, he's going to be popping up in everybody's comic books.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a hot property because everybody always makes their own alternative, Superman. But now they'll pit those characters they already created and have him appear and fight them.
Wow. Do you think that like big studios like Disney are going to be like Disney's Superman? Do you think we're going to get that?
Oh, I feel like the big brands are going to respect each other because it's sort of like a nuclear detente. Like, hey, me, I won't with you.
like those chocolatiers in Wonka. It's like they're really all in on it, but it's like, well, watch your feet.
Well, it's like, hey, whatever you do to me, I can do it back to you. Let's just, you stay over there, I stay over here. Let's respect.
That is interesting though. But I think that I want to see A24's Superman.
Sure, they could do that.
They could give us the Man of Steel that Zack Snyder thought he was making, but we've spoke about Zack Snyder enough today. Are there any other characters out there who are going to go public domain who you guys would like to? People are saying some really interesting stuff in the chat. This is like 10 years away, but Homelander versus Superman.
That's the exact kind of thing I'm talking about. Man.
And Skull also says DC characters are going to become public domain. Superman becomes public domain in 2034, Batman in 2035, and Wonder Woman in 2036. Man,
the Holy Trinity.
Batman going public domain. We are going to get every year from now on, we're going to have an ocean of independent Batman movies. Oh, I'm a sad Bruce Wayne, but I'm Batman, legally Batman. That's
You know what we just had?
Did you? God damn it, I'm going to do it again. Did you know what Zack Snyder referred to what he
Pattinson?
would no. What he would refer to Justice League as the Snyder cut. He's like, on set we'd call it Citizen Wayne. I was like, oh. Man, you gotta stop doing that talking thing. Driving me insane. Citizen Wayne, why you?